I remember the dark ages, and by the dark ages, I'm of course referring to the time before I used Shopify. Here at SuperMega Productions Incorporated, we use Shopify on a daily basis to ship and sell our little merch items. Like, look, we sell merch, and we do it through Shopify. So upgrade your business and use the same checkout the Funny Brothers use at shopify.com/super. That's all lowercase. That's right. You can sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/super. That's shopify.com/super, all lowercase, and you get a $1 per month trial period. Go sell stuff and have fun. Yay!
Will you be at the gates of heaven? Congratulations, you won! Alert! 今天恢复你美丽的 Vorskin。
For absolutely nothing.
What SuperMega isn't good for?
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, so you got the song now, finally.
Yeah. Well, I thought you were saying SuperMega was good for nothing.
What it isn't good for absolutely nothing. You know,
it's true though. War. What is it good for?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing. And what's not good for absolutely nothing is this incredible podcast that you all have voluntarily tuned into, or maybe
a friend put it on a road trip, and you're having to listen to this. I would think that's probably of the rare, the rare instances, since I'm scared of my For myself, I already have a lot of, I get self-conscious putting music on for other people, like my music.
Right.
So I couldn't imagine trying to just nonchalantly throw on a podcast for everyone in your car to listen to. But it's your car, it's your rules, and hopefully whoever's car it is, you're putting your foot down and you're blasting the Super Mega Show to your friends.
I will say nothing is more uncomfortable and simultaneously disappointing than when you're telling a friend I gotta show you this video clip, or there's these guys, this podcast
Look at
is so funny,
watch this.
You show it and they're just either watching it and not really reacting,
look,
or they're not really paying attention.
See right there, you were talking to me but you didn't see. Hold on one second, you were talking, there we go. So like that.
Yeah, so maybe some of you, this is your first time ever listening to us, and maybe that's the vibe you're getting, and you're just trying to be polite to your friend, and your friend is sitting there, awkwardly driving.
Aren't they funny? They're making reference to how uncomfortable it is for you. This is actually the perfect episode that I forced you to listen to.
See, these guys get it. It's like these guys know exactly what they're talking about. Right?
They're not out of touch millionaires. They're in touch millionaires.
Exactly. People don't get that joke. We're not millionaires.
We're billionaires.
Just trillionaires, actually. The first to ever do it.
Sometimes I lose count after the 6th zero,
100%. I think we're close to 22 zeros now.
Ooh, oh shit. Damn. What number would that be?
Quintoctillion. Here, I'll tell you what it is. Every single breath you take, every move you make, I'll be watching you. No, but every breath you take, there's the amount of atoms that go whoop, and back out is equal to 2.5 times 10 to the 22, which means 22 zeros. That's a lot of fucking atoms just in one breath.
That didn't interrupt the flow of conversation, I don't think, right?
No,
that seemed pretty natural.
I was trying to have Matthew's Science Hour, but
It's always Matthew's Science Hour.
it's not always Matthew's Science Hour.
You try to make it Matthew's Science Hour.
You rip it from me.
You have Matthew's Science Hour, and left to your own devices, you end up trying to make a bomb in your backyard with a
I wasn't trying to make
lithium
a bomb.
battery.
It's
an explosive.
It was a display.
An explosive device.
Would you refer to fireworks as an explosive device?
Yes, they are explosive. It is an explosive device, and many people accrue injuries from working and dealing with fireworks each year.
But would you be talking down in the same tone to someone that's playing with fireworks?
No, because those fireworks are pre-packaged and designed to do that specific thing.
The battery was pre-packaged.
It wasn't
I just
designed to
opened it
become an
up.
explosive in your. But I think we talked about this in a. We talked about this in a.
Was it in a mini show?
In a mini show.
Oh,
so
man.
all the patrons, all the wonderful patrons that support us got to hear it. But long story short, not to get into it, a while ago, Matt.
We can get into it.
Matt took a lithium battery, got a Tupperware, filled it with water.
No,
And
no,
then-
you're already completely off.
I don't think it makes
you've lost the plot.
I don't
Ryan.
think it makes it much better for you, but continue.
It absolutely does. So here's
Let's
the thing:
see.
Nile Red, chemistry.
And how old were you when this happened?
This was at least 3 years ago.
Okay, so you were 18.
Yes, I wish.
I know.
Basically, I saw a video where Nile Red, he makes YouTube shorts. He's a wonderful fellow, but he does videos where he's like, so if you open a lithium battery, it's actually pretty neat. And he shows what happens. If you open it, there's lithium foil inside.
And if you put that foil in water, it goes boom.
It goes boom. And I remembered seeing that video, and I was like, damn, I want to try this. So Luke was over at my house. Some other friends were over, and I was like, hey, you guys want to see something cool? And Luke's just kind of like, okay, yeah. So I get a battery, and cutting it open is not easy. As Nile Red states in the video, he says, getting it open is a bit of a pain. It took me about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Get the battery open, and I open it up, and a bunch of like juice and stuff spills out, and I'm like, wait a second. It wasn't a lithium battery. I had to go buy lithium-ion batteries. Open another
You
one
unwrapped
up.
the wrong battery.
Yeah, instead of lithium foil, this was just toxic, acids and stuff.
Useless to you to make a bomb.
Exactly. Well, maybe just on its own, no. So I get the other one open after about 20 minutes of cutting, and I get the lithium foil that's inside. And let me tell you, it's pretty neat. It's you unroll it, and it's like aluminum foil, but it's lithium. Once that touches moisture, boom, baby. Like a
The
beautiful
magic
firework.
happens.
Yeah, it's like
By
a magic trick.
We mean an explosive device is created.
Explosions are magic. Technically, think about it. Like, if you showed that to a caveman, they're going to think it's magic.
If it doesn't blow their face off. If you hand them the Tupperware container.
Well, check this out.
It's the classic cartoon with the black soot. And the hair spiked up.
Basically, though.
Dude, honestly, I couldn't picture a better, more entertaining group of people to prank if we became time travelers than Neanderthals.
Oh
or
my
like
God,
cavemen.
dude.
Just go and fuck with them every now and then.
Just go and, like, you could pull the greatest, even something simple like silly string, would
we
just
could
have them hooting and screeching and running around in circles, freaking out.
Well, imagine like freaking them out by like going through extensive prosthetic makeup and like becoming monsters or something.
Oh my God, things.
Well,
they've
honestly,
never
they
seen.
live with monsters every day, so maybe it's just like another monster.
That's true.
Saber-tooths and cave bears and shit. Those are like terrifying. Sharks, alligators, those were all around. Cockroaches. They were big though too.
Well, not during that time period, but
They were like that big, right?
not when Neanderthals existed. Things were big when there was a bajillion more oxygen on Earth, and then the oxygen went, and then Neanderthals came around.
Yeah, but I thought
I feel like they were bigger still.
I still think so too, because even with recorded human history, humans have become taller. We used to be a lot shorter as a species.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I didn't want to call you out on that one, but
Well, I guess it also depends on your race.
What, the way you say species?
No, the other thing that the
yeah,
actual conversation
yeah.
we were having.
No, sorry. But I guess back to it. I get this lithium foil out, try to explode it. I guess I did something wrong, didn't work. So I try one more time, and I kind of crushed the battery this time by accident. And I hear this kind of like hiss sound. I'm like, what the hell? And all of a sudden, this putrid smell.
Sounds like a snake.
Yeah.
Like there might be a snake in your boot.
Potentially. But I think what actually was occurring might be a little more dangerous than a snake in a boot, because I'm not a chemist. I don't understand the inner workings of chemistry. Which is why it was so cool that I was doing a chemistry experiment in my kitchen with people in my living room. And
without telling them what you were doing.
No, well, I told them I was doing something cool. And the battery starts like emitting this putrid smell. And like when I say putrid smell, it's like it's one of those smells where it's like a chemical smell that the second you smell it, you know it's not something you're supposed to breathe in. You're like, no, that is bad. And it spreads so fast that the people in the living room go, what the fuck is that? And then that got me a little like,
And it's continuing to hiss at this point. It's you're thinking, something might happen.
Something might happen. And so I grab the battery, and all of a sudden I'm like, fuck, it's really hot. Why is the battery hot? And it only gets hotter and hotter and hotter, and I'm like, fuck, okay, it's heating up now.
You're lucky it didn't have any gamma radiation around.
Dude, if it had gamma rays, I would have been done for.
Turned into the Incredible Hulk.
That's watch batteries.
Not to be a callback from a past episode.
No.
But
these batteries don't have gamma rays. That's just the little watch ones. But, basically I started freaking out. Didn't know what to do. I was afraid it might explode at any moment and blow my fingers off and blind me. And that would just be very embarrassing in front of my guests. So I quickly put it into a stovetop pot, and I took off down the steps with it, and I was like, I'll be right back. They didn't know what was going on. They're like, where are you going? And I just I went outside. It's nighttime. I have this pot. I am jogging down the street at full force. This battery is hissing, and I just tossed it in the middle of the road and ran back inside, and that was the end of it. So I don't know if it but honestly, for the next hour, actually the rest of the night,
there's a lithium battery just out in the middle of the road. Yeah,
I was listening out. I was actually very paranoid because I'm listening. Like, what if all of a sudden I hear like a huge bang? So I was just kind of sitting there, like everyone, laid into me when I got back inside. I was like,
for making an explosive.
I didn't make the explosive, Ryan. The explosive already existed.
Like one of the only people I see where like you'll see a video of someone creating an explosive. Be like, I can make that in my kitchen.
And that's what makes my mind so beautiful.
That's what makes a friendship with you so beautiful. You don't know whether you're gonna find him in the living room playing Binding of Isaac, or in the kitchen creating a homemade explosive with a lithium battery. The options are endless.
And I suggest everyone go watch Nile Red's video of the lithium battery thing, because also I had underestimated how large the explosion was.
It's a big explosion.
From what I had remembered, it was kind of like a firecracker, and then when I went back and watched, I was like, oh, okay, so
not like a pipe bomb, but like a half of a pipe bomb, maybe.
Not even half a pipe bomb, but
maybe like a third of a pipe bomb.
Yeah, maybe like a third of a pipe bomb. Yeah, like the type, like pressure cooker, like not like Boston Marathon pipe bomb, but maybe like your first attempt at a pipe bomb that you blow up in the woods.
Great casting for getting one of the Wolf brothers as one of the terrorists. He's very hot.
He's very hot, just like the terrorists. So,
well, if you remember during that time, there was a huge wave of kind of like, it was like Beatlemania, but for a terrorist.
For a guy that had just like blown up a marathon.
Same thing with Hassan. Stop. Sorry, it just if we mention any sort of like that, I don't know, maybe it'll get clipped. Maybe it'll get clipped. We'll get someone upset with us because they think that we're lying on their name.
Yeah.
Wait. Hassan? Isn't that the guy who said he was gonna create another 9/11 if he want or something?
I think he said he could do it from the comfort of a $6 billion mansion. He could do another 9/11. He could do 2 of them actually at once.
Isn't that the guy that Hassan? He's the streamer guy that funds wars in the Middle East.
Yes, he does. He funds wars in the Middle East. I think that's him.
Right, that's him. And I think if my memory is correct, it's probably right. Isn't that the guy?
That is the guy, right?
That funds wars in the Middle East.
He's also he is a member of like several designated terrorist organizations, correct?
Isn't that the guy that's a part of the lizard tribunal in the government?
And I can just see then it's just this clip pauses, pulls out, and it's on a Hassan stream, and he goes, "Aren't these the guys that?"
Yeah.
Well, Hassan, you should know, considering you were on our last podcast show, not the last episode, the last show, and I texted him a jump scare link. It was Jeff the Killer.
Well, you killed her. You killed any sort of
I killed
career we had. If you noticed when we guested on the Hassan stream, our viewership went.
Dude. And it's like our pockets were being lined.
I mean, people started calling me Mini Hassan.
Yeah, and
that's not just because I was more fit than him at the time.
Right. You were like a shorter, more handsome version of him.
Yeah.
The audience called me some different names, but I guess it was like we're part of that community. We can say it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, sure.
Well, they didn't know you weren't a part of that community specifically,
right? But I wasn't going to rain on the parade.
Yeah,
it's not. It doesn't matter.
Although rain at a parade does sound fun. Not to get in the weeds about how sayings can sometimes, not work or whatever. But rain at a parade does. I mean, the music, the lights, the food. Not your food getting wet, but hopefully they would have tents up if there was a rain warning.
If it's a summer day, and it's the type of rain that's warm and feels good, I don't mind getting soaked. Now, if it's like a Christmas parade and it's rainy,
oh yeah,
no fun.
Well, snow's technically no.
Like South Carolina Christmas parade. There was a year it was raining, and let me tell you. No bueno.
Is a snowflake a solid?
It's a crystalline structure. I don't know. I'm bullshitting.
Okay.
Sounds like I know about science though. It's not a solid. It's a crystalline structure.
Yeah.
But we were on the come up, and then one day on a podcast episode, I texted Hassan a link and said, "Dude, have you seen this?" And in Hassan's mind, it's probably like, "Oh, who said what about me now?" Opens it, and it was Jeff the Killer with a very loud,
probably jump scared him.
It probably scared him. So he never since then have I ever had any communication or heard from Hassan. Neither of us have, and I truly believe that I ended any type of formal relationship, working or friend-wise, that day.
And I thought, judging at least from the text he was sending you specifically, I thought y'all were getting pretty close.
Well,
but I don't want
He was getting close.
I don't want to get
me. I wasn't reciprocating necessarily. I could see looking back maybe how he could perceive
your vocabulary
it that way.
in those messages. I can see why he sent the pictures he did for sure. But
yeah, I mean, I could have. I guess I was being a little ambiguous in my wording sometimes, and I guess I would play into some of his fantasies, not really meaning to, but not shutting them down, and it's very. It's what everyone guessed it would be.
Yeah,
it's huge, but uncut.
Nipples.
Mm-hmm. Both his nipples are uncut and
huge.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't take his shirt off that much. He's self-conscious, but.
Well, enough about Hassan the political streamer's nipples. It's time for some actual ad reads.
I remember the dark ages, and by the dark ages, I'm of course referring to the time before I used Shopify. Shopify is, the all-in-one selling platform that lets you build a website, sell your stuff, and they make it fun and easy and yippee! Here at SuperMega Productions Incorporated, we use Shopify on a daily basis to ship and sell our little merch items. Like, look, we sell merch, and we do it through Shopify. And with Black Friday upon us, Shopify, takes the stress level from here to here. I genuinely could not imagine using any other service for making an online shop. So, if you want to like sell some Army Men or this unbranded bottle of flavored water, you can make your own Shopify shop and do it too, like me. So upgrade your business and use the same checkout the Funny Brothers use at shopify.com/super. That's all lowercase. That's right. You can sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/super. That's shopify.com/super, all lowercase, and you get a $1 per month trial period. Go sell stuff and have fun. Yay!
What's up, motherfuckers? We're back with another part of the Super Mega Show, a podcast hosted by Matt Watson and Ryan McGee. That's right, Buster. It's time for the Ryan McGee Hour and the Honk Honk Matt Show.
I know you so well, dude. Like, our brains are so in sync that before you even did it, I knew you were going to go... like the multiple, was it mama or Watson?
One of those.
And then I knew you were gonna throw a couple at the end.
Well, it's the radio edit.
Yeah,
it's like a DJ edit, like a DJ intro. I'm DJ Rhino Hazard. It's not your grandma's DJ, bitch. But the bleep happens,
right? Because FTC guidelines wouldn't let them do that.
Yeah,
actually, they can say bitch on the radio, right? Yeah,
on Sirius FM.
I have Sirius XM, not.
Oh,
FM,
sorry,
by the way.
sorry, that's my fault.
The whole thing. It's
X.
XM.
Yes, X.
Yeah, do some X jumps.
Can you get some X jumps out of the way?
Well, I started to do an X jump, and then I realized I would go in front of the podcast filter for the logo, and Luke would, in another recent episode, Luke forgot to remove the filter when I walked in front of it, and it turned me cherry red, and people were not having it.
Did I get in the filter when I was doing all that?
No, you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna
cut to the.
He's gonna crossfade it, so it like slowly. See, I noticed in a recent episode, one of us got.
But what
up,
if I want my face to get in the way of the filter?
What if we both want it?
Yeah, you do it too. See?
It looks like I'm real angry.
And now it looks like you're real sad. Wait, no, sorry. It looks like you're frozen. Get in the blue.
There's no blue filter.
Oh, it's purple or something.
No. There's none.
Oh, it's literally just for the red.
Yeah,
the blue shows up.
The blue shows up fine. The red on camera shows up as like yellow. So it's Tucker. I thought he knew his shit when it came to like crafting neon tubing and lights, but he's not very good with it.
Now, I know you saw the government shit about it, and I want to talk about it because you said that they saw sightings of Mr. Freeze in the Antarctic.
Oh, yes.
We don't have to talk about.
I thought you were going to bring up the other government.
We can talk about the alien meeting too, but I just thought we've heard about aliens so much from them. They've had a lot of meetings, and this is the first meeting about. Yeah. A potential Mr. Freeze sighting.
It was the first congressional hearing for Mr. Freeze sightings, and they had some whistleblowers come forth that worked in research labs in Antarctica.
Are we sure that? And I remember one of the questions. They were like, "Are we sure that this is Mr. Freeze and what you're describing is the Mr. Freeze ray?" And I remember the congressman or whoever answered the question. He was like. I can't say that here, but I can in a separate meeting.
Yeah, he said in a closed hearing, I can, So they're like, yes or no, and he's like, I cannot answer that in an open hearing, but I'd be more than willing to testify in a closed hearing.
Which I'm excited because I think most people know that he's out there.
Oh, for sure, and I'm also excited. You and I are on the VIP guest list for the closed hearing, so we'll get to know some governmental secrets. But
I guess not. I guess, there wasn't too much new information. Let's talk about the alien one, I guess.
Let's talk, I guess, the less important one, the UAP hearing. So some of you might know, Ryan and I are a little into something that we like to call
Meth. I'm just kidding. Crack.
Come on,
Those are both jokes. Coke, cane,
crack cocaine. It's all the same shit at the end of the day. Aliens. And aliens are something that don't come from the Earth. They're something that comes from outer space.
Well, at first they were like ETs, and then they changed the name. Didn't you sent me a thing? Where
So
they were first coined as 4 humanoid type bodies that looked to be humanoid, but did not have any of the signature human-defying traits within its makeup.
So are you talking about what I sent you last night?
Mm-hmm.
Those were screenshots from a declassified Roswell document. Okay?
Roswell.
So that's... Well, we'll get into Roswell.
But this is... I think this meeting, what I'm most excited about, because we're talking about, the hearing they had about the we're just going to say aliens, UFOs, and all that. The coolest thing for me was the UFOs in the ocean. Yeah.
So that's a big one. Is they've testified quite a bit that there are USOs. They have to give them all these different names, but
they got to change it every week, it seems. What are you looking at?
Watch this, dude.
What are you doing?
I'm going to let our viewers in on a little government secret.
You're messing with the computer screen.
Dude, here it is. I'm just doing there it is.
What is it?
They now our viewers can just watch this.
I don't even know they can see it.
It's a compilation of UFO footage. So the truth is out there, guys. See it? Look at that.
How many of these are confirmed? What is this video from?
Airline pilot.
Okay.
Look at that. What the hell is that thing? What the fuck is that thing? Look at that right there.
They can't see it.
Anyway,
it's a video. It's a video of a blurry disc going over the ocean. Looks like the size of a frisbee, but honestly, it's probably the size of a jet plane.
Probably. It's a big saucer, as they call it. But basically, they had a hearing back in 2023, and it was like the first time that Congress held like a UFO actual hearing where
the Democrats and Republicans worked together.
Very bipartisan. That's the interesting thing. This last one was led by Nancy Mace, a Republican from South Carolina.
I got scared with that first name for some reason.
Nancy
Pelosi leading the
the
UFO hearing.
So these things they fly around.
Basically, but they have whistleblowers that have worked in like high levels of the government that come forth and testify under oath about what they know. A lot of the answers are I cannot
in a closed door
meeting, closed door hearing.
But there are some that like they'll go down the line when they ask like, essentially the question is this an alien? And they'll go, yep. Like I'm giving you the for dummies version. There are moments in that where they're like, what is this, or like, what do you think this is essentially? And they're giving us the most blatant, this is an alien. This is something that we don't know.
Yeah.
This is something that is not of this world.
So first thing that
or like
really,
they don't know, they're not confident even saying that it's not of this world.
They won't say alien
because they don't know anything about it.
What they say now is they're super, super, super careful not to say alien.
But intelligence?
They say non-human intelligence,
mm-hmm.
specifically NHI. So they say non-human intelligence.
That's using aircraft or I don't know, I can't remember what the term is, but they're using technology that is beyond our understanding and comprehension because of the way it is able to maneuver stuff.
Here's what is confirmed, okay? Because I know with the whistleblowers and stuff, you could be like, well, they could be bullshitting, etc. Lying under oath is a pretty big, no, but it's happened. But what has been confirmed is the Pentagon and Navy have released footage of UFOs. So basically, there was this really famous UFO video got leaked on the internet. They said, "Not real. It's not real." And then eventually, the Pentagon,
like, okay, it's real.
Like, it's real. And it's pretty cool. And they changed it from UFO to UAP, which stood for unidentified aerial phenomena, and now they have changed it again to unidentified anomalous phenomena because of the ocean stuff.
The ocean stuff's cool.
Yeah.
Because, like, I saw this video. I don't know if this is one of the... who knows? It's a shitty quality, but it was, like, of a light going, like, down into the water and then, like, moving around.
They have
in an interesting way. As I said, like, the video stuff for me is never like a...
I don't know what's real with the video stuff,
Yeah.
except for the stuff that has leaked that the Pentagon or Navy has then confirmed.
I just like the idea of a beautiful... See, this is where it gets in the way, because I still want it to be little gray aliens in their flying saucers with the glass tops, potentially, if they have a glass top.
I don't
with
think
all
glass
the
is going to
colorful
survive.
buttons and stuff. Not a glass top, but whatever material they use on that planet to make sure that, it doesn't... break due to space travel.
There are pictures of saucers that have been released and
None of
stuff.
them have a
There's
glass
saucers-
bubble on top.
No
I know,
glass bubble.
I know,
they literally
I know.
are just metal. It's like a metal.
Well, have you played Destroy All Humans?
Of course.
Okay.
I watched you play.
There's
it.
a glass bubble in that one.
I like
and
the
it's
glass
really
bubble
cool.
myself, where it's the classic one, dude. It's the metal saucer with the ring of lights around it
Yep.
and a glass dome.
Yep.
And inside,
so you can see the alien.
Exactly. That's probably not very good for space travel, but
It looks cool, and maybe they should take some notes on how to make an entrance.
they're probably just like this potential interdimensional extraterrestrial race that's maybe millions of years beyond us. They go,
But are they just side-eyeing us like how we... Like, think about when you go on a hike, and you, like, there's, like, bugs and all different types of plants, but you're not, like, an herbologist, or you're not, like,
Sure.
super interested in plants. So, like, you just kind of, like... You see a plant, you recognize it as something that's always been there, but you're not, like, intrigued by it. You're not like, what is this plant doing? What type of plant is this? You're not trying to understand more information about it because it's just, to you, it's really not much. And it's not interesting. It's nothing.
Right.
You're on a walk. So I'm wondering if we're the plant in this situation to the alien. We're just like these things that exist on this planet that, like, aren't too interesting, even though we think that we're interesting because we built cities and civilizations, and, like, our planet lights up like a damn Christmas tree. Look how cool we are.
It does.
But,
That's a quote from the Aliens.
But at the end of the day, is even all of that even impressive to a species as advanced as these would have to be?
So here's what they have confirmed. Okay, this is like the government has said this. Is that there are UFOs are real. They've said UAPs exist, and
We don't know what they are.
they say we don't know what they are. They exist. They enter our airspace. There's no way for us to basically do anything about it, because whatever technology this is so far beyond our understanding of anything that we know. It defies the laws of physics completely, which I think... It doesn't defy them. I think we just don't understand physics the same way they do. They're up here, and they have also said that they are not belonging to any other government. Mm-hmm. And then they use the term non-human intelligence. And then in the recent testimony, one of the guys, what he referred to. They had a big focus on basically like this crash retrieval program that the Pentagon has had called Immaculate Constellation, that a whistleblower came forth. Someone involved in government gave this document to this guy. He went to Congress, and it's in the congressional record now, and he testified. And basically it's this thing that since a couple decades ago, they've had a program for collecting the materials that these things are made out of, and
We have collected little dead bodies,
that's what it says. It says that they have
which is official government shit.
and they testified under oath. They said alien bodies, and they won't say alien, but they said biologics have been recovered, non-human biologics have been recovered from the craft. I want to know what they look like, but
Why can't they? Why just release those photos? Like, if nobody gives a shit at all that they exist in
It's
the
what it
first
seems
place,
like.
so like release pictures and still no one's gonna care. You release real pictures of aliens, like it's not gonna make the world go like, oh my god, aliens exist. It's just it's like it's gonna be a race to see who can create the first joke on Twitter or like a funny meme. Like
Well-
that's where I think it is. I really don't feel like it would create that much
Panic?
of an actual panic or wave amongst a general popularized, like the general public. It would just kind of turn into a meme.
it'd be a shock to religion. I think.
Maybe.
I think to a lot of religion it would be a big shock, but I think also a lot of
Well, then
religion
they
would
just-
accept it.
They just jump and say those are of the devil. Those are demons. We were made in God's image.
Which
You
one
know,
of the
that
guys
whole-
that testified, I read his book, and he said that there's very high up people in the government that believe that, and he was talking about how it's idiotic that their religious views are like basically interfering with this whole.
Those can't be aliens because we're created. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, like he said that the very high up people are like, you know what these are, right? They're demons.
Yeah.
And it's like, or hear me out.
They're organisms.
There are galaxies, just in our galaxy alone, there's stars that have existed for billions of years before ours, which have planets. It's totally plausible that, life popped up on another planet somewhere, probably a bajillion times just in our galaxy alone. One of those gets technologically advanced enough to be able to, bend space-time to be able to get here. Because the thing that blows me away about these things is they have these on like radar doing this, and on video is that they can literally like go from being completely still to I think what the math came down to was like from being stationary to accelerating in 0.2 seconds to 10 kilometers per second, which when you think about like that speed is just like nothing should be able to move like that. They said they were pulling like 2,000 to 3,000 G's. When we did our zero gravity flight video, when we would be going up the parabola and we get pinned to the floor, that wasn't even 2 G's. So 2,000 to 3,000 would just fucking obliterate anything inside it. But then they just go and they turn it right angles. They drop from 80,000 to sea level in half a second, and they'll just go. So it's just crazy. Like, I want to know how the physics of these things work, and they obviously know a lot more than they're telling us, and I just want to know. People need to demand the truth because something very interesting is going on.
I don't think people would care. People don't even care that there are UFOs and shit. That there are videos that are like, I don't know.
It doesn't make like mainstream news, really. Like people.
See, I still don't even think showing bodies of the aliens, like, it would create mainstream news. But I think we would be over it as a society in like a week or two. Like, it would be on to the next thing. What's JoJo Siwa doing? Like, that's what, like, literally, that's what we would.
Well,
that's
she
what would
is an
happen.
alien.
We are living in someone's comedy.
Yeah, we're living in their comedy.
Maybe.
Well,
We're
they've
living
also
in their
said-
TV show.
They've said that they are able to. They're trans mediums, so they said that they'll be in space, enter the atmosphere with no problem, with no means of propulsion or anything, and then they'll fly and they'll go straight into the ocean without disturbing the water.
That's so cool.
And they don't lose any
momentum or anything.
inertia, which is like physically should be impossible. And then they testified about this one in the 80s. One of our nuclear submarines got tailed by a large object that we thought was maybe like Soviets at first, but it approached us with such fast acceleration that shouldn't be possible, and it trailed the nuclear submarine for a while and then eventually just kind of zipped off. And it seems like they're heavily focused around military installations, specifically nuclear stuff. So I feel like maybe they either don't want us to blow the planet up,
Or they're trying to get a hold of all of our gamma energy and become Incredible Hulks before we can. We've heard of the arms race and the space race. What about the gamma race? Or, as I like to coin it, the Incredible Hulk race.
the gamma race is
The
pretty
first
clever.
species to create an Incredible Hulk. That's what it's all for. Imagine how disappointing it would be if the alien species was like it was in like like a species from Guardians of the Galaxy or Star Wars where it's literally just a blue person or a green person. You're a person, but you're pink.
Well, there was a 4chan whistleblower. All right.
Would you not be disappointed?
I would be.
If it's like,
Well, I mean, I would still be like blown away.
If it's you with hair, maybe you have green hair and blue skin. Like, would that be like, that's cool and interesting and, you know, whatever, but
you know what that would make me think, though? That would make me think that we came from them. Like, if they looked incredibly...
We're just the more boring versions of them?
Yeah, or like a genetically, like, you know, like a test almost, where it's like they've existed so much longer and then they, you know, put us on this planet and as an experiment. I don't know.
You know, well, the like... The scariest part from the like those meetings and stuff is there's this like one bit of information where they're saying like the UFOs or UAP, whatever the fuck, they essentially send out this frequency that will like interrupt radio, TV, podcasts, and
looks like we got the transmission back.
Yeah, just a, I guess just, you know, it's a closed off room.
Yeah, not sure.
You know, it's hard to get. I mean, we're not even posting it. Whatever. Well, we're back, and you know, welcome to everyone. If you remember, I know it's hard to forget. We were talking about aliens, UFOs, UAPs, the government, and
UFOs.
The color of skin. Alien skin.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Gray.
Interdimensional alien. Not
it's gray.
Not, yeah.
Okay. And here's what I will say, dude. People, like, across history, people that claim to have been abducted, people
seen
that...
stuff in the sky. Angels came down from heaven with a bright light.
Guess what? The same thing. Big-headed, short, gray motherfuckers with big black eyes. Not big black guys, big black eyes.
Yes, eyes that are black.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like that could be them. There's a theory that those are not the real aliens, but those are just basically biological drones that it's like an alien race basically made this biological genetic like drone, and that's what the Greys are. That's why they don't have genitals. That's why they don't have really like anything super important, and they just are sent to operate these UFOs.
I will say, when they're talking about like bodies being picked up, in my head I'm like, if a species is so advanced that they're doing like travel or whatever, maybe it's because I'm connecting it to human behavior, but I would expect them just to send out, like, instead of UFOs being piloted by like actual like more, you know, those types of aliens, it's just like, yeah, a robot drone AI for, you know.
Well, they've said there's both. They said that some are piloted and some are
just
not piloted.
Okay.
So, but you know, I was kind of looking at some famous UFO incidents. One of my favorite ones,
Roswell.
Yes, and
that's not the one you were about to talk about.
I'm going to get to Roswell.
Okay.
This is a big one. The Phoenix Lights.
Yes.
One of the coolest fucking like mass sightings in history, where, for those who are unaware, here I can tell you right frickin' now, okay? It's hold on, where is it?
Arizona.
Was in Arizona, 1997. There's some great videos about it on YouTube, but the Phoenix Lights refer to a series of widely witnessed unidentified flying object sightings over Arizona, Nevada, and parts of Mexico on the evening of March 13, 1997. It's one of the most famous mass UFO sightings in modern history, with thousands of witnesses, including residents, police officers, and military personnel. So it's not just some guy saying he saw lights in the sky. It's thousands of people across states. And basically it was two very large V-shaped formations of lights, just kind of slowly moving, and just kind of hovered over Phoenix. And there's videos of it on YouTube, and it's pretty interesting. And they've never gotten to the bottom of it. And they did the public was like demanding answers, like, what the fuck was that? So the mayor of Phoenix caved and did a press conference to address it, and they brought a guy out in a gray alien suit, which pissed everyone off.
Okay.
Because they weren't like taking it seriously.
That's cool.
And then later he was like, okay, I saw him too. So yeah. But yeah, it's just the videos of it are really cool, and kind of what people report for most UFOs, where it's just silent and just lights, and they caught them on radar and all sorts of shit.
All right. The Phoenix Lights. What's another one you want to explain?
Well, Roswell.
Okay.
What do you know about Roswell? What
Roswell,
you know about Roswell, white
New
boy?
Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
There was, I know this is the one where there was a crash and bodies were taken from the crash site, as well as the craft and pieces of the craft itself.
Yeah. This was this is what started.
This is the coolest one. This is like the one, yeah, as you were about to say, it's what started it. I feel like it is the quintessential like UFO experience. Roswell, New Mexico.
Yeah, when you're thinking of the type of UFOs that you and I like, the fucking saucers.
And
with
what year was that?
1947.
1947.
So one thing is that like the sightings of these increased so significantly.
That's why like 50s and 60s had like the green men from all
Yeah.
that type of shit.
But all the sightings increased once we got nuclear weapons, and after nuclear testing, that's when like all of these sightings started popping up everywhere. So it's almost like they were all of a sudden interested in us once we developed that capability.
Well, like I said, all those little green men are hoping to one day become big green men.
Mm-hmm. And how do they do that?
Gamma radiation.
And what emits gamma radiation?
There's people like, shut up, shut
That's
the
not
fuck
how it works at all.
About the goddamn and the Incredible Hulk gamma. Yeah, ha 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 ha.
Nukes emit gamma rays.
Well, there you just went ha ha ha. So you guys think it's funny?
Hey, and by the
It
way,
was sarcastic ha ha. Not in my heart.
let me tell you something. 2 episodes ago, I saw in the comments, I saw someone say, listening to this while trying to do my astronomy homework makes me want to rip my hair out. And what I have to say to that is, what? Scared that 2 YouTubers know a lot more about space than you? That's what I thought.
Also, be careful about ripping your hair out.
Trichotillomania is a very serious condition. So see a doctor or a psychiatrist if that's happening. The 1947 Roswell incident has been the subject of extensive investigation and declassification over the years. Here's a summary of key findings and official reports. So the initial incident, July 1947. A rancher near Roswell, New Mexico discovered unusual debris on his property. And then the Roswell Army Airfield initially announced the recovery of a flying disc.
So Roswell literally also started the whole like the farmer shit. Like, because when I think of an alien crash landing, it's always like near a barn or in some sort of farmland type of area.
Roswell's
like the desert,
yeah. Well, there's another case too from the 1800s from Aurora, Texas, where basically this alleged UFO, kind of the same thing as Roswell, crashed, and then the townsfolk, it like crashed through this dude's barn. The townsfolk found a body of like a little gray alien essentially, and they buried it. And there's a grave, and the grave has been since like robbed, like taken, whatever was in it. But the whole town, talked about it. They had a landmark for it. But basically they said a flying disc had crashed, and then the government quickly retracted that and said it was a weather balloon, which we've heard that one before.
Not a fucking weather balloon.
That's classic. Tale as old as time. A weather balloon. I don't think so. FBI involvement. The FBI's Dallas field office sent a teletype regarding the recovered debris, describing it as a flying disc.
Like
let's
a frisbee.
See. But then,
without a glass dome.
Look at this, dude. And then the 1994 Air Force reports. In response to the inquiries, the U.S. Air Force.
I was born.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Coincidence?
I think not.
I don't think so. The U.S. Air Force conducted an exhaustive search for records related to the Roswell incident. Let's see. The investigation concluded that the debris was from a top-secret project known as Project Mogul, which involved high-altitude balloons designed to detect Soviet nuclear tests.
So first they tell you it's a weather balloon, and then they try to even come up with okay, now we already said it's a weather balloon. How do we make it realistic? And so they come up with this other story. But now they have said that that's not true. Like, the government has come out since then and been like, yeah, we lied.
Yes.
We actually got bodies and shit from it. Alien bodies.
Let's see.
It was bodies multiple, right? It was multiple alien little... Four alien bodies.
Okay, so here's the thing. The government has not come out and just straight up said, yeah, there were 4 bodies we recovered. There are declassified documents, though.
4 organic humanoid materials.
That's the type of shit they say. They'll say, like, 4 humanoid biologics. Let's see. The FBI's online repository, known as The Vault, contains documents. The NSA also has released declassified documents pertaining to UFO investigations, providing additional context. And what I sent you last night was from this Eisenhower report, and it had some highlighted parts, such as 4 small human-like beings had apparently ejected from the craft at some point before it exploded. These had fallen to Earth about 2 miles east of the wreckage site. All 4 were dead and badly decomposed due to action by predators and exposure to the elements during the approximate...
Some creatures got a taste of alien flesh?
Dude, some fucking little coyote was running around, had no idea the significance of what he was chomping on. And I was listening last night, and again, a lot of this stuff could be... stuff that's already been debunked, and I just haven't seen that.
From people who are lying that
right.
It can't be proven that they're lying. So
I might be talking about certain things. I just want to preface this with my dumbassery alert. I think it's very fun to talk about this kind of stuff and to kind of pontificate. So some of the stuff I'm talking about might have been debunked, and I just never saw that. Or
not the Roswell stuff. They actually did get 4 bodies.
They said,
maybe they didn't. Hold up.
Well, with this type of thing, you're never going to get, like, the straight facts. So it really doesn't, I guess, ultimately
matter.
Us fact-checking if they got bodies or if they said they didn't, or, you kind of just have to look at a lot of the...
No, the bodies found in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947 were not alien, but rather test dummies.
That's what they said.
Air Force personnel, Project Mogul materials. See, AI overview.
Yeah. Who do you think the AI is working for? No. I do think that something happened in Roswell in 1947. And some people have testified to Congress that we have developed tactics to down these things occasionally, which I'm guessing would be like an EMP, like a EMP burst, which fucks it up.
It would be amazing if we lived in the world where Roswell was 100%, UFO with the 4 bodies taken. Like, I want nothing more to believe that,
I listened to a great video last night, and it was an interview from the 90s from the United States, National Archives of a guy that he worked at the morgue in Roswell at the time. And they basically had him come down to the hospital and stuff, and he was friends with a woman that worked at the Air Force base there, and he had seen some weird stuff the day of with the ambulances, and he saw that they had these pieces of debris that looked like metallic and really weird. He said it
weather balloon.
He said it looked like Egyptian hieroglyphs almost, and then she came to him the next day, and she was all shaken up talking and told him about the 4 bodies and stuff. And she was violently ill that whole day, and he called the next day to check up on her status, and they said she wasn't available. And then she was just gone, and he got a letter later on, a couple weeks later, from her saying I'm gone now, and blah 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 blah. It didn't really make sense. And then she had mentioned that like a couple of scientists had died from like radiation or something. And then he tried to write back, and he got a letter back from the government saying she was deceased now. So interesting stuff. I think that there's obviously a lot we don't know out there, and a lot we do know.
And it's fun to theorize, and as you said, it's fun to pontificate on these things, because the truth of the matter is we're in our lifetime, we're probably not going to know actual detailed specifics. So the best we can do is use our imaginations.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of disinformation thrown in there on purpose. You know, it is proven,
like the Men in Black.
The CIA and Pentagon have actually done actual disinformation campaigns regarding UFOs to spread false narratives and false information to make the UFO community not be taken seriously.
Well, I mean, the U.S. government also sprayed their citizens with harmful chemicals for a fun little test, unbeknownst to those citizens. Introduced crack to. Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, the government's done a bunch of fun little things in the past, so you can't really put it past them.
They wouldn't lie about weather balloons.
It's like, just a weather balloon.
But basically, I feel like my personal belief is that they are slowly kind of rolling out the concept of us not being alone, because I feel like just coming out and saying it is too blunt and too shocking. And I feel like over maybe like a 10-year period, they're kind of, because I think the big thing was changing the nomenclature to be UAP instead of UFO removes the stigma around it. So now it's this new thing.
Now it's boring and people don't want to pay attention to it.
Or it removes the stigma so people can
I'm telling you now, Matt, if they're saving this stuff to lightly introduce it to the public today does not give a fucking shit. They go, wow, and then create fun little memes on TikTok and Twitter.
I don't know. I think a lot of people would freak out
in the moment, but I don't think
it would cause civil unrest.
No.
Unless there was a threat, like an imminent threat of invasion. Or I think a big reason the government does not want to disclose stuff is because admitting that
it's like we have information maybe other people don't have, and we want to keep all the information we have. I don't know, something about it. I just don't have faith in our government.
What?
I don't know why. I really do, and I've said it time and time again. I think that it would just be a headline for a little bit, and then we'd just get not bored with it. We just, because I think as I said, the general public, they're everybody's first thought, but realistically, people more so would be like, great, do I still have to go to work tomorrow?
Exactly. Because this is making mainstream news. It's on NBC. They are covering this stuff on like huge
Our
news
government
channels.
had a whole televised meeting about it, and have
Twice.
had several behind the doors meetings about it as well.
Congress has been briefed. They literally established a UFO task force in Congress just for this. And that's all publicly known.
They're not going to defund that to make room for Doge, are they?
Well, to quote my father, when I was talking to him about this, he said, Elon, he's a big thinker, and being in charge of a lot of this
He thinks
stuff,
a lot about ways that he can be liked by people. I'm not sure he does much actual...
No, he does thinking about funny memes, like 69 and 420. Hey, Luke. Where was I?
Before you were rudely interrupted.
So rudely interrupted.
By our illiterate employee, Luke.
I don't want to sound rude.
Well, it's just a description.
It's a fact.
It's a descriptive. It's a factual descript.
And he was very good at hiding that before we hired him, surprisingly well. But basically,
granted, he went on his resume. I read good, so
We thought it was
that
like
might have
a
been
joke,
on us. Yeah,
like super mega humor.
it's like he's
ironic.
He's in his late 20s. This is a gag. But
Right.
What again? Back to the aliens.
Anyway, I think that with all that is confirmed and all that is potential and, not confirmed by any direct evidence, but confirmed through testimony under oath by like credible people in the government, stuff like that. I think that there is something happening. Something is going on. And I think at this point you cannot deny that there is something else here beyond us that we don't necessarily understand.
I feel like most people have some sort of loose belief in
Sure, but they don't
aliens
care.
No.
And that's what's frustrating to me. It's because it's like this is the biggest, in my opinion, the biggest like scientific discovery in all of human history.
But I guess it's like
we are not alone.
But what do you do with that?
Right.
What does that do for people
I still gotta pay
running
$3 a
government,
gallon.
running businesses, wanting to make money? It's like it's like I think a big question for the corporate, for the working class level, it was, do I still go to work tomorrow? For the higher corporate end, is can I make money off of this? And for a lot of them, probably, they'll make T-shirts with his like I don't know.
I think
there's a bunch of people throwing in, but it's like if they can't make money off of it, if it doesn't affect their day to day, like what is it?
I think that the high level of secrecy is because they've talked about basically reverse engineering technology that comes from this higher being, whatever. And it's like if a government has technology that comes from a higher intelligence, obviously they could use that technology in their advantage, and they would not want their adversaries to have that technology in their hands. So they said that there has been this Cold War, this like silent
this race
behind. Yeah, it's basically like a space race, Cold War, but it's about reverse engineering this stuff. And China has a program, and Russia has a program, and we have a program.
I just don't think that if they're as far ahead as people are saying, I don't know if reverse engineering, like, as much as you can reverse engineer a wizard's wand, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
we're not even like halfway to the level of being able to like halfway reverse engineer.
Like, can we even make heads or tails of any component other than
there's probably some stuff.
It's shiny. It get hot.
It's this element.
Yeah.
But how does it work? Because obviously, like the way these things maneuver, they're able to manipulate space and time and gravity. That's like something we absolutely have no idea.
I think someone needs to talk to those one-wheel people because they might have some information that others don't.
You're right.
With the balance of how does the one wheel stay up? That's all.
I'm just
putting that out there. I'm not saying
the ripstick even before, like the waveboard. How do they do that?
See, I think, there's someone that does, like, there's a scientist that has come across all these, but he can't leak all this information to the public. So, like you were saying, they're slowly leaking information, but really what they're doing is they're slowly leaking it through advertisements, through toys, through new cars. Buy the new Honda. It's like you're flying in a UFO.
Well, that is a theory that they actually are warming people up to the idea through a bunch of things. Steven Spielberg has a brand new UFO movie coming out.
More like Steven Spielberg. Loves bananas.
Loves them. Always has to have them on set.
But enough of this in industry gossip.
Wait, last thing I'll say that I thought was interesting about the most recent hearings, which by the way, there was another one
Okay,
today.
Hold up, Matt.
I will
be the judge on if it's actually interesting or not. Go on.
She was making
now I'm not, just because you're my friend, I cannot go easy on you in this judgment.
Congresswoman was questioning the four guys testifying, and she was asking one of them who worked for the Pentagon. She said, answer yes or no, and finally got him to start doing that. And she was like, reverse engineering technology, yes. And she said, alien technology, and he said, yes. And that's the closest they've come to saying alien. And then there was one other thing when a way he worded something. They were talking about technology, and they said, like, from where? From what? And they said, technology from a non-human higher intelligence.
Well, they go down the line and they'll each give an Oh, by the way, that was very interesting.
Thank you.
Honest judgment.
It might not be aliens. Might be interdimensional
Well,
something that was here before us.
They'll go down the line and it'll be like highly intelligent beings. Then it'll be like amorphous. Like they'll have a different way of just essentially saying alien. Like every time they say it, my brain blocks out all the big words they say, and it's just alien.
Oh yeah, but they can't say alien because I think that's very specific, meaning that it's from another.
Can they say little gray men or green men if they want to be more cartoony about it? But
they gotta stop bringing the little green men thing up. It just completely throws any credibility out the window.
But Matt and I aren't the only ones who believe this alien shit. I mean, we there's a list of people you can see who are believers.
Yep.
in the new age.
In fact, if you look on screen right now, if you're watching,
I tried to call it the New Reich, but apparently that was something else.
Yeah.
I was just wanting like a new age, like a new era.
I know, and Reich is like a cool word, you know. And also, a lot of the Germans have, had a lot to do with the discovery of UFO stuff. So it's like, oh, New Reich.
But apparently that's a no-go.
I don't know why, but whatever.
But anyways, you see the list of people. They are also believers. You might even see there's a difference. You have the believers list, and then you have the contactees.
These are people
who were abducted,
have been abducted, or
who've been
have
poked,
psychic,
prodded, touched,
right,
molested,
potentially. Which that does
by
not,
aliens.
That does not mean sexual. By the way. Molested means to aggravate or annoy,
or to touch without consent,
which would be aggravating.
To annoy. Yeah.
So the list on top with the little emojis by the names, those are people that have either been abducted or are able, using psionic abilities, to speak with aliens.
Unless there's an error, I will say the last person on that list should be on a registry of another kind. They accidentally got added to our list, but it's just the last person on the smaller list.
Yeah, so
they shouldn't even be on the list.
Ignore it.
It's a registry on a totally separate list.
It was the video was pre-rendered though.
Yeah.
Of the names, so there's nothing we could do about it. But yeah. If you want to be added to this list of believers, if you are like, I am a true believer. I do believe in aliens. I do.
And I also want to support these fucking awesome conversations these two friends have.
These geniuses, these brilliant minds of our day. You can go to patreon.com/supermega, where not only do you get access to exclusive shows like our movie watch-along show, Uncle Sleepover, Ask SuperMega,
extended part of the podcast,
Behind the Giggles, where we break down our videos and commentary. You also get, guess what? You get an extra chunk of this podcast. So every episode, you get an extra sloppy scoop of this shit. And
so there's construction going on next door.
There is.
Or
it's the CIA fucking like they're getting too close to the truth. So they're like drilling through to listen, putting a bug in.
Nuh-uh.
Also, everyone whose name is on this list, they get free or not free. They get stickers in the mail every month, and they're cool stickers in a novelty envelope and everything. So anyway, you can support us on Patreon.
John 3:16.
Love you.
No scope.
What?
I don't know. Hashtag and a movie. It's the last thing on the Community season finale 6. They go and because it's 6 seasons in a movie, and they typically maybe they showed him enough proof to where he's on the side of like, we're talking with this planet. We're having tin cup like string conversations
with string going to Proxima B, and
Hello.
It takes 4 years to go back.